What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Solana Made Simple. I'm SMS, your host, and I want to thank you for all of your support. And if you like the content you see here, please head over and subscribe to the channel and give it a like. It means a lot and it does help out. Yo, what's going on? Welcome to SMS Live. I'm your host, and we're going to get straight into it. It is Friday morning, May 10th, and it is a kind of shitty day out there. I think it's a little bit rainy and stuff like that, but we got a great show for you. I feel like I'm a little bit high right now. I'm a little bit, but we got a great show in store for you guys. I'm looking forward to it. We have Dalia on. We're going to be talking to her about kind of how she came up into the space, how her progress has been. I've been seeing a overwhelming push lately, and love to see the team kind of growing and stepping their game up and kind of reaching outside of the boundaries and getting into live streaming. So I wanted to give her the opportunity to come on here and have my community get to know her as well. She kills it in the game. She's got a lot of great content, hilarious. And on top of that, she has a great take that I saw her tweet. And I said, hey, how about we talk a little bit about this and kind of introduce you to, the rest of the audience. Real quick, guys, let me go ahead and play some things. We're going to get into this. And if it's your first time at Solana Made Simple, I want to tell you a little bit about the SMS Club. It's a community on X. I don't do the Discord. I don't do any of that thing. It's not paid for or anything like that. You can just join in and get some of the benefits of being part of the club. All right, so the Solana Made Simple Club is a vibrant community of passionate investors, art collectors, builders, artists, media personalities, and more. My mission is to cultivate a supportive space in the midst of crypto's chaos in a world of manipulation and noise. I strive to share valuable opportunities and guide you through the maze. Alone we may be fast, but together we're unstoppable. We're all we got. Thank you endlessly for all the support. So you guys can go right to my profile. It's showcased on the bottom. Just click on that, put the request in, I'll get you guys in there. The reason I do it like this, I can see every single person that goes through, so there's no shady characters getting in there. You don't have to worry about somebody impersonating somebody or putting kind of malicious links in there. I can remove them instantly, and I can set privileges for other people. So if you're interested and you want to join a community, you're tired of Discord, you can go on there. Every time I get some alpha, any kind of plays that I'm looking at, any kind of news or anything that I think is worthy enough to kind of share directly with you guys get it first. When I'm making trades, there's some plays that I put in there as soon as I get them, so I can make sure that you guys get the first chance to get your position in there. So if that's something you guys like, go ahead and check it out. Let me pull it up here so you can see kind of like what the page looks like. And like I said, we have Dalia coming in. I think SK might even be stopping by. We're going to be working together, cooking a little bit more, trying to do a little bit more production. But I sent them links whenever they get there or get here. They get here. No rush in that because they got plenty of things that we need to cover or we can talk about here. But most importantly, guys, I want to thank you so much for all of your support. And if you could just share this out, get some more people into the room, let's build this thing up. Fridays are a lot of fun for me. They're get ready for the weekend. Most people kind of take the weekend off. I really get into it on the weekends and dig in deeper. I do a lot more creation on the weekend. I got a ton of tattoo homework to do too, some new books to read. So I'll stay busy. I really enjoy that. But let's go ahead and play this. Sundays, 8-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I have my spaces. You guys can come in there. It's completely open forum. If you have some things you guys want to talk about yourselves, absolutely welcome to come in there and share it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, guys, you saw that. And about down in the bottom right-hand corner, you might have noticed that it's SolGridBot. We are rebranding and working on that as far as that goes. So we can't, let me switch these up real quick. And the reason we're doing that is because there's, he wants to rebrand to just a different name. I think Grid sounds a little bit better. The GridBot's something they're working on, but the AI calls for the sports picks, they seem to be doing extremely well. 70% hit rate with most of these, especially soccer. So I got a couple picks in for the weekend. Later on today at 4:20, we're going to start debuting the second show. I'm going to be doing a morning and an afternoon show. The 4:20 show, we'll go over the picks. We'll see what it looks like, see if I entered any other ones. I am building that up and working on and learning about sports betting. It's not something I'm going to suggest anybody else do. It's something I see a huge industry that is continuously growing. It's outperforming a lot of stocks, and it is a gamble. So I'm only putting like $10, $20, $30 in some of these plays, just learning and having fun with it and see where we can go. We had one of our members from the community actually take $10, turn it to $1,000 just using the AI picks and the information provided in the Telegram. If you guys want to check that out, it's SolGridBot on Instagram. You guys can get in there and see all of the good stuff they got. And like I said, 4:20 p.m. later on today, we'll dive back into that, trying to keep that a regular thing. It's just kind of in the works, getting the kinks out and see how things go from there. But let's go ahead and share this up. This is the quote of the day. You know how I like to get started with these things. Kind of set the mood, set the room, and kind of let you know where my head's at, kind of thing. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you here. All right. I did want to have the other two people speak on this one because it's something I think is kind of important. Let me see this. I think this looks better like that. Bang. All right, so creativity is not competition. I think that's extremely important in this space because you need to be a creative. You cannot just be a standard, plain Jane kind of person and make it in this space. You'll just kind of literally blend in with the rest of the text because this is a text-based app. The thing that I found is, give me one sec. I got some messages. I want to make sure that everybody's good to go. Give me a sec. Okay, our guests are on their way, guys. No big deal. Like I said, we have a lot more lax kind of a standard here, so they'll be in here. Just take your time. If you guys are watching, no rush. You got the links. Whenever you get in here, we'll get it going. But yeah, I'll talk about this once I get in here. We'll just jump in and talk a little bit more about that. So creativity is not competition. All right. So this is something that I learned very early when I got into art, when I got into the graffiti side of things. It's first off, that is a little bit of competition. You're trying to get up more. You're trying to get up the most spots, all that kind of stuff. The other part about it is if you make your shit look like the other guys, that's cool for like your start or just to learn. But then you just look like you're just kind of dick riding them. You're just doing what they're doing. You're jocking them. You know what I mean? You're not doing your own thing. So something I learned very quickly was like, look, you are not going to look exactly like what you like. Take your twist to it and put it in the mix. Like mix that thing up. Like if you're drawing an A and your boy does an A with a leg on the side of the top, like maybe use that because you like it, but do something else at the bottom. Twist the letter this way or just something different. Put your own touch to it. So you're not trying to be better than, you're just trying to add your flavor. You add like a variety and just more to it. Like the best cultures have a variety of things. They're not just like, this is it, this is that standard. That's very easy. That's mindless. That can save you time. I get the benefits and those kinds of things, but man, flavor is so good. Like, why wouldn't you want to have a variety of things? Like on our shows, we talk about everything and then some. It's not just blockchain technology. It's not just cryptos, memes. Like I like to talk about this kind of shit, creative shit. Talk about art, talk about life and, philosophy kind of stuff. But you add your flavor to the mix and that's what makes you unique. That's what makes you stand out. That's what sets you apart from other people. And I think that a lot of times we get stuck into this position where, this space makes you kind of like chase to be number one. Like my goal is to be the best I can be. I know that, some people might say, no, I want to be number one in the space. Like you'll get there if you're the best you can be and you're doing everything you can to get there. Like you'll literally be the best in your field if you do those things. Most people don't. Most people literally take the weekends off or they say, oh, I'm so busy, I got to spend time with my girl. Yo, if your girl loves you, she's going to be like, no, motherfucker, get back to work. Like, let's go. Let's take this thing to the top. At least in my opinion, that's the kind of thing I'm looking at. So looks like our guest is here. Give me 1 second and we'll bring her on up here. I'm still new to this, so I'm probably gonna fuck something up. So,
hey,
all right.
Hey,
what's going on? How you doing?
I am so sorry. What an asshole! I'm so sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. Like I said, there's no rush. We get this thing going, but everybody, welcome. It's Dalia, right? Dalia. Okay. I was like looking at her last night. I was like, that doesn't look like how I'm saying it. Do I text her? Let me just ask her live, just so I can make an ass of myself in front of everybody. So yeah. How you been? How's your movie going? How's the space?
It's good. It was a good space. It was about titties and art, two of my favorite things on X right now. So it was a great space.
Awesome.
It's been a busy morning, and yeah, sorry for being late. Actually, I had my corded headset. Because my Bluetooth ones wouldn't work, and then I ran out of USB ports on the laptop, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm freaking out.
I still haven't figured out the right way to use headphones. Like I have them, this works, and I was like, I'm not doing it. Every time I put headphones in, I can't hear somebody or they can't hear me. Like, cause just the way I have like a screen over here, I have the iPad. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But
do you just do the audio like with your iPad? Like, do you just listen? Really?
Yeah, that's what this is. I mean, does it sound clean?
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I've been using. And everybody's like, you got to buy this. I was like, I'm not buying shit. This works just fine. Like, This is what I got.
Yeah, I got this like fancy ass like, and I can't even use it right now because right now I'm using my phone because I ran out of fucking USB ports. But
so I got
like that
this
sometimes.
This is my microphone. It's basically just headphones. Sometimes I usually use it when I'm recording videos and doing reviews and stuff like that. But let's break it down a little bit, guys. This is Dalia and telling everybody, Dalia, sorry. What's that?
I said you just asked. You're gonna fuck it up like 20 times, and that's fine.
At least you understood that. So I was telling everybody about you in the space that you kind of been growing and kind of stepping outside of your normal comfortability or whatever you used to do, and it seems natural. I didn't know that you just started doing this. That's why I was like, wait, what? Like, I really thought when you made that post about this is the first time going live, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I see your TikToks, I see all of your work, and it's really impressive because it doesn't look like there was much of a transition. So do you want to tell a little bit about yourself, your background, how you got into making content creation, and maybe a little bit about crypto if you want to? You don't have to talk much about that, more about yourself and what you got into this for.
No, absolutely. So I did something completely different in Web 2. I was more in the political sector in Web 2, and my career was very like serious kind of. I was working my partner and I had created a housing program for parole, actually, in the state that we lived in. So it was definitely nothing amusing about it. So did that, and COVID hit, and I had a rough time health-wise, actually, for a couple of years before that. So stuck in bed, like severely ill. I walk. And so I was relearning that and kind of getting back together. I was bored as shit, and so I started reading articles online. And I read this article about Bitcoin. It was 2020, and at that point, I was looking at Bitcoin mining, and I'm like, this is fascinating. And I'm starting to look at the Bitcoin charts, and it's like it's 5K 1 week. All of a sudden, it's 6K, 7K. I'm like, 5K to 7K in like a week. The fuck is that? The following week is like 9K, and I'm like, this is really, really interesting. So I was like, you know, I really need to buy some of this. This is moving so quick. Until I figure out what it is, let me just buy it and do it. So went to buy some, and the transaction didn't go through. And I'm like, shit, all right, wired the money again, using Binance there. Didn't realize how long Bitcoin transactions
so you're just buying Bitcoin like, I don't know what's going on.
So I accidentally bought 2 Bitcoin at about 9-ish K.
Accidentally. I mean, I've literally done that where I'm like, transaction doesn't go through, failed, okay, click again. And then I look at my wallet, I'm like, oh, fuck. I got like 6 of these things. How did that happen?
Right.
You know?
And it's COVID. So like, I'm already like, you know, business is tight, everything's tight. And I just threw 18K at imaginary money.
That had to be a feeling. So, I mean, what part of the day was that? Was that morning? Was that like afternoon? I mean, that's a lot to take in for the rest of the day, right? I
mean, it was earlier in the day, and I'm like racking my brain. I remember like sitting like in the corner of the house, but like, what am I gonna? There's 18K. I'm like, that's what's in like the bank account right now. I'm like, holy shit, there's mortgage coming out, and that was like immediately like 11, 12K, and I'm like, all right, maybe this is the best fuck up of my life.
Right.
And it absolutely was. And as I was learning about cryptocurrency and decentralization, and I've always been somebody who is more of an outside the box thinker, and not to be conspiracy theorist, but I'm not very trusting of governments in general. And
Understandable.
And I've always thought, well, maybe there is a way we should have like a currency that's used all over the world. So to see this happen, and it's something that really existed, fascinated me. And just the technology of it, the way that it was just moving the charts at that time. Even in traditional finance, you had AMC and GameStop and shit running, and so it was a whole new like trading landscape. Really fascinated me.
That's funny. That's the exact same time I got into it. So it was that winter of 2020 to 2021. AMC GME was popping up on like Facebook and Instagram. That's all I use. Like I did construction work. I use these apps to be mindless, you know what I mean? Do that kind of stuff. But for the most part, it was like watching skateboarding, fighting, and just like art stuff. Like I had no idea what finance was. I had no idea what money was. I was like, all you do is just work, you make money. Like that's how you get it. You know, you put in work. Once I realized,
still barely do. I still barely know money.
Well, I mean, I guess that's the same way where I'm at. But I realized no matter how many hours of overtime, like I couldn't make that because I watched GME, I watched the stocks just run, and I started buying into them on Cash App because I realized I was like, wait, I can be part of this, and I didn't realize until that point, like I thought it was only for a certain sector, the people that went to school, they had some kind of like, I didn't know that anybody could do this. And once I realized that, I got online, I started reading everything. I got a spiral bound notebook that I filled from like front to back. I made a glossary. I taught myself everything about it, but I learned like, you don't have to get stuck into this. There is another way. And it's like you said, it's not like a conspiracy thing, but I'm, working and 30% of your money just kind of instantly gone like that. I'm like, there's got to be another way. And I always knew that I need another form of like income. And I figured out a way through stocks and options, just trading that. Once the AMC thing happened, Dogecoin picked up. I was like, wow, these rate of returns are way, way larger. Like I'm making enough in a week, like, or in a day that I used to make a week. And that's where it just like that switch went off. And I was like, man, I got to get out of this. Like, I love building stuff still. I love creation. Like that's one of my favorite things. And the thing is, this gave me the opportunity to do more of that. And when I was making my own business, I was doing my own landscaping stuff. And I ended up running this guy, needed me to build some shit in his house. So I went in there, was talking to him. He had a vision board with like crypto on the wall and money and cars. I was like, what do you know that I don't know? You know what I mean? What is this? And he was like, let me break it down to you. So he started getting into it. And he showed me basically about Ethereum. He started showing me about Bitcoin, like in depth. He started showing me about meme coins. And that's where I was like, whoa, what is this? This is like, all I knew about was SafeMoon at the time, unfortunately. I didn't buy heavy into it. I just knew about it because a friend of mine, he was like, check this out. I was like, that looks kind of sketchy. I don't know. But he was telling me about Kishu Inu. He was telling me about anything Inu, like to spread it out. And that was my real introduction to it. And I saw that and I made it a few $1,000s very quickly. And I was like, man, there's a way to do this like full time. There's got to be a way. And then I found myself into this space where it was crypto Twitter. Like I didn't even know about doxing. I just had my full name on there, my full government. I was like, this is what we do on AOL and like instant messenger and stuff like this.
Honestly, same. I feel that.
So like SMS just like fortunately worked out for the Solana Made Simple and everything I ended up getting into. And I was like, oh, I'll use my name. If that goes to shit, I could still have my name. Like this just works normally. And, I stuck with it. And then I realized I like content. I like the creation part. The biggest thing is I realized we need to invest into ourselves. And I wasn't doing enough of that. I was investing into the companies I work for and trying to provide that way because that was just the old way. You know what I mean? Like once I realized we can do something here, there is more opportunity. And like you said, like I made a lot of mistakes and some of them were really good mistakes. I was like, oh shoot, like if you understand this, like there's a chance you can like really find a system here. So all in all, like that was my kind of introduction to this. But one thing I've noticed about you is like some of the things that you say and like the takes, they catch me off guard. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think that way. Like the whole thing you're talking about is really why I want to bring you on here is you're talking about things kind of going back to Ethereum. I love Solana, but I'm not one to say it's all going to stay on Solana. Like I just have to be realistic. I have to be open with people. I have to remind people we went from $8 back up to $200 and some dollars. Like that is one hell of a run. Let's just like look at the big picture here. There's going to be a circulation. There's going to be a cycle. Like stuff is going to move and ebb and flow. But the Ethereum thing is something that's captivating me because when I got into Solana, I wouldn't have got into Solana if I didn't start with Ethereum. It's the bigger chain, very popular. If I go outside right now and ask 100 people, I'm willing to bet that most people are going to say Ethereum more than they're going to say any other chain. Besides Bitcoin, that one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, ETH is a gateway drug.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and you keep coming back to it. Like I know that's one of the things like I found myself doing. It's like as soon as Base came out, I was like, oh, this is cool. They're developing more stuff over here. This is more entertaining. Like I still was holding on to some Ethereum. I didn't know why sometimes. I was like, I bought it for a reason back then, so I'm holding on to it. So I wanted to dive into that and just kind of pick your brain a little bit. Like where are you seeing those kind of trends? Is there something specific? All in all, I know that your .eth, are you like very much an ETH like maxi or where you at with that?
No, I don't believe in blockchain maximalism at all.
Okay.
I don't think that any one chain has gotten it right yet. And I think that each one right now has their usability. So I like to experiment and see what's good for what and what trading looks like on each different platform. And started with Ethereum and so most people even knew about it. I happened to a little bit and just a couple larger accounts having it. And I'm like, what the hell is that? So I looked deeper into it and I'm like, I have a really unique name. Let me go ahead and nail it down now before anybody else has a chance to grab it. And it cost like nothing. It was like $30, if that, I think. Gas prices probably made it more expensive than that. And so being able to have that, that's where you can tie back your wallets. I'm like, that is really unique because that was, you know, everybody was just getting used to being able to just copy paste their address everywhere. And there's this long string of letters and numbers. And you're like, okay, well, this isn't sometimes the most efficient way to be able to, you know, get payments, and you can tie multiple wallets to it. And so I wanted to do that. And I thought it was a good way to brand myself basically in the space to really show kind of like a crypto native, I guess, theme in my content and who I was and how it was developing my persona, because I didn't even have really a Twitter account before crypto at all. I started mine in 2021 because I was trading crypto and I was the type of person that was down like the trading rabbit hole. You know how it is. You're sitting there for fucking hours and you're just like this, and you're not eating.
Yeah,
you're not
sleeping. Everywhere. I'm like, I feel like I'm part of the matrix at this point. I'm like, I'm developing the matrix here we go.
Right.
Like,
you're pale as shit.
I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like that stereotypical scene of like you're sitting back in your computer, you got all these monitors up. Somebody walks in, there's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm deep in the trenches, brother. Get out of here.
Yeah. You know, your family's worried about you and you're saying shit like hodl, and they're like, oh my god, she's having a fucking nervous breakdown.
What is hodl? Sean, you're spelling it wrong. No, hodl, mom, hodl. I have my mom buying Bitcoin. I'm not gonna lie. So I've been telling her since, unfortunately, I've been telling her since it was like 18, 19 grand. I was like, Mom, buy Bitcoin. You're retired. You and Dad are doing nothing right now. Like just chilling, doing whatever. Buy fucking Bitcoin. And she's like, okay. And then she hit me up and it was like 45. She's like, so I didn't buy any yet. I was like, like just buy the Bitcoin. You know, like I'll buy it for you. You know what I mean? And she was like, no, I want to do it. So she calls me up a couple weeks later. She's like, so I've been buying it. I was like, how much? Like $5 every Friday. I was like, my dear Lord, bless your soul. I was like, you needed 5x that, Mom. She was like, what? I was like, start buying like $25 to $100 like every 2 weeks or something like that. You know what I mean? And she calls me every now and then. She's like, it's up. And it's like, maybe, I don't know, a couple percent, nothing crazy. And I'm just like, geez. But the thing is, like, she's listening. She's asking about it. She's like, I'm seeing this on the news. You're right. Like, you were right about all of this. And that's one thing is like, I know we sound crazy sometimes, but just like you're saying, like we go down these rabbit holes because we see something that's there, and you got to keep picking at it to kind of see what is underneath it. And I mean, this for me was the biggest thing, is created opportunities outside of this. Like, I love this. This is home. This is what I'm always going to do, I'm pretty sure, but it opened up every opportunity. Like, to start a tattoo career is what this done. But that's something I wouldn't have been able to do doing construction and doing this typical thing that I was comfortable with. This is not the most comfortable thing some days. Like, rushing around, trying to produce, putting everything, plugging this, like you're saying, like, sometimes you feel like you're tripping over yourself, but the whole, like, the big picture of this has been so beneficial for my life, and it's brought out a side of me that was like literally kind of just dormant. You know what I mean? I knew it was there, you know, but it was just dormant. No. So have you had anything like that? Has this kind of like changed your course of anything? Because I think you're pretty much the same age as me, I'm pretty sure. So I know that we had a little bit of a, you know, the 90s were a little different, and then we had this boom of technology and social media and presence and seeing everybody like, oh shit, okay, I'm going back to my room, like, see you guys, you know what I mean? So I'm just kind of
absolutely curious. No, for me, so, you know, we grew up, I'm 39 years old. Painfully. I
wouldn't have guessed that. Shit. I'm 36, so yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm on that slippery slope right now.
Stop playing.
But you know how it is. Like, we grew up in the 90s, so the narrative was, you do well in school, you go to a good college, you get a degree, you get a career, you buy your house, you have a family, and that's living the dream. And then it was in the 90s when that fell apart, and all of a sudden degrees didn't buy you a career, and you owe more money to the government than you can make in probably the next decade. And I was lucky enough to create a business. Now, I'm a community college dropout. I dropped out after the first semester. So I do have ADHD, and it was difficult for me, because while I love to learn, a traditional learning environment is really difficult for me to exist in. So in doing that, I created this business because I was able to be an outside the box thinker. And one thing I've always said is there are no genius without madness. There's no genius without madness. Everything is going to look crazy until it pops off, and all of a sudden, oh my God, they're so smart. So, so that was my tactic with business. And so I kind of had that same tactic, but I reused it in starting, in NFTs and really creating a personality, because I'm like, let me explore something about myself that I've never really done. And I've done some like little funny clips and stuff to send to friends or whatever, but it was just between like friends. I never created content, so to speak. Yeah. And so I started my X account, and I was like, me just being derpy, not knowing anything. I'm like, hi, I'm here to learn about NFTs. Can anybody tell me about NFTs? And fucking Sappy Seals trolled the living shit out of me. I saw memes like I'd never seen before. I'm like, what is this? This is a crazy.
What
like,
did I just get into?
Yeah. And they're like, join the Discord. I'm like, what? A Discord? So, yeah. And so when you're developing a new social media identity behind something, and it's kind of guided by a bunch of teenage shit posters, you really have a freedom that you don't realize. Like at first, like I was like, oh, this kind of juvenile. None of these people are gonna judge me for doing anything silly or dumb or making a mistake. And so I took that and ran with it, and I'm like, okay, I started making like memes. They taught me how to make memes, and I started doing little funny videos. My first video was one where I was sitting at a table, and it was like I was on a date with a guy, and I was like, oh, you work there? Oh, you got a degree from that college? Really? That's so cool. And then I'm like, oh, you own a Sappy Seal? Tell me more. Like, and
that's great. No, I can see this personality, and that's one of the things I was looking at, because I watch your TikToks, and the shit's funny. Like, it's genuinely, it's not cringy. It's not like you're digging. It's stuff that I look at and I was dying. Like the one where you with the guy you're saying, you know what they say about people that shoot people or whatever, right? And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like that one was hilarious. And I started digging into it more. I was like, she has such a good personality. Like this is great. So I wasn't sure like if it's something you thought of or it just kind of happened, but it sounds like it naturally just kind of fell into your lap and you just kind of ran with that. That's fun. But I never made content before either. Like I had no idea this would be something I would like. And I mean, it just fell into like, all right, just start and like you go from there. But so how's the TikTok stuff been? Like, how has that kind of venture been? Because it's fun to watch them. I never knew I would like it like that. And I find myself kind of just like scrolling through it sometimes. But how's that been for you?
Let me tell you, TikTok is a hard sell even to me, because I think of TikToker and I think of somebody doing like dances and shit, and that's not me. And that's not me. But I have found that TikTok is the best platform to be able to create these, short clips. It allows you to edit them easily and be able to kind of like just put just visual content out there. You don't really have to have like an auditory opinion or anything, but you're like, if I want to do something to make myself laugh, that's really why I create the content. I'm like, this entertains me. I'm probably the biggest fan of my own content, as egotistical as that sounds. Because
no, I don't think that's egotistical. I think
be goofy.
I don't think that's egotistical. I think being your big fan is number one. But I agree with the TikTok, because I was doing YouTube trying to make shorts and like put them on the TikTok and other things, and it stems from TikTok. It has so much more, and then you can kind of share it, saves it, all that route. But no, I definitely like that. How long have you been doing TikTok?
So my first TikTok was one I did for Sappy Seals. So it'll be, oh my God, that's going to be 3 years in September. Holy crap. That's a long time.
That's
I found it hard to be consistent on it. And this is like, cool, honestly, it's because I was lazy and judging myself about it, to be honest. It's been hard to...
About making content?
Yeah, it's been hard to justify to people in Web 2 what I do in Web 3, because it was a very straight-laced, very serious, very business suit, keeping up with the guys, doing this kind of like, like HBIC attitude. And here I feel like I can just be more of my casual self, because I don't have to be, presenting myself to corporations and politicians and stuff in a certain way. I'm like, I can explore what it is to just be Daila. And it does give you the flexibility to just kind of build your own little niche. And that's what I love about Web3 itself, is that you can build your tribe just based on your personality. If you stay true to who you are, the people that fuck with you will gravitate towards you, and you will create a community just from that. And I think that's magical. Like, you can't do that anywhere else in the world. You can't walk out the street and make friends.
When I've talked to people about this, I know for a fact, like, most of the people I grew up with, I don't have any interactions at all. Like, we've gone in different paths, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I'm not upset about it, because I know that they literally like laughed at the stuff we do, and I'm like, you don't understand. Like, we reach an entire global network of people. I can do anything I want to now. Like, you guys have to go do the work. You still are stuck in that mindset, and you know, that's great. They also have the same, or don't have the same responsibilities as me. Mine are very, very few. It's just pretty much here, and that's why I'm able to kind of just grow in here. But that's one thing, like you're saying, this gives you the ability to kind of hone in on your true self, and like just like experiment with stuff and whatever you want. And like, that's one thing that keeps us, I don't know, I feel like happy. I feel like just like kind of like at peace in your soul, because you get to like just vibe out and do that. And there's no judgment. And if it is, you just mute aggressively, hit that button, and it's just, your people will come, they'll support it. And there is the other contrast. Like, if there is something that, you know, is called out, you can look at yourself and do a self-evaluation, and you don't have to be in front of an audience. You don't have to have a bunch of people there. You can literally break your own self down and go in. And I'm very critical of myself, because I want to do good stuff, but I also know that it's okay to make mistakes here. And like, that's one thing I've noticed is, like you said, like the community, the tribalism, your people, like, they support you, and they will tell you the critiquing part like that and help you grow. And it's like, there's nowhere in the real world where it's that open and that friendly and that supportive. I've looked, I've been around. I mean, we're, you know, 30s or whatever. So we've seen a little bit. There's still more, you know, down the line, but where we're at right now, I've never had this opportunity, and I tell people about it all the time. The last job I had, they kind of looked at me like I was silly. They're like, you just draw cartoons? I'm like, sure, that's fine. 1 + 1 is 5. The sky is green. You are absolutely right. I don't care. I'm not arguing with you guys. Like, I try to show people this, and they just don't want to hear it sometimes. Then every now and then, when you do say that the right thing to the person, you see that light go off, and like, hey, I tuned into your space. Hey, I checked out your page. So I'm like, that's so fucking cool. And like, you start to see where it starts to grow more, and that's what I like about it, man. Like, it's the money comes as a byproduct of hard work, dedication, all that kind of stuff. But what you're able to actually do and grow here and be the unique personality that you are, and that's what sticks out the most to me, is like, you don't fit the mold to a lot of things. Like, you just kind of break out, and it's great and refreshing, and I like seeing it. So I wanted to shout that out and give you the opportunity to kind of share yourself and get more reps behind the camera, because I know you do the TikToks, but I'm telling you, you're natural with this kind of stuff too, and it's fun to watch. So keep it up and keep doing your stuff. But I mean, yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. It's
scary. It's scary as hell.
Yeah, because like, you're sitting, like, sometimes I'm sitting here, I'm like, what if this just fell out? Like, I just think of like the craziest scenarios, and then sometimes it's like, what if nobody likes this? And it goes back to, why am I doing this? What am I doing this for? You know, I've been doing this for about 3 years. There's days where there's 3 people. There's days where there's 300. The bottom line is, like, I'm doing this because like, it's fun for me. I like to wake up, go about my routine, plan my spaces, you know what I mean? Like, it's just that those are the things that are fun to do. And like you said, people see that, they're receptive to it, and they come to it. And I mean, like I said, it's, as long as you're having fun doing this, the rest of it's good. Make sure you get a check, but you know, make sure you take
right. I mean, I know you come from more blue collar background. We got to talk about like your construction projects, because that's part of my like creative expression, is doing different stuff. I've done like penny floors and masonry and crazy shit like that.
I've done everything from pouring foundation to putting the shingles on the top of a house. Like, we've done everything.
Oh, we've got to build the whole like G Media compound now. Oh shit! Now we can see now everything goes to shit, and we're all living off Bitcoin, and we have our compound. We're set.
Well, we could buy a couple houses and just start flipping them, renovating. I mean, everything.
Yeah, I mean, that's how. I'm always like, who's gonna be on my doomsday list?
Well, that's like I was talking to a buddy about real estate. He was like, wait, you've done all this shit? And I was like, yeah, like my goal is to make enough here where I can start doing the real estate, live in the house, flip the house, whatever. Like, I know it's not as easy as talking about it. I have plenty of friends in there, but he was like, hold on, you don't understand, you're the sweat equity. You don't have to pay for that. You can do all the things now. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you can do it like carpet, house, floor, everything, right? And I was like, yeah, in like a week. Like, that's pretty simple stuff. He was like, holy shit. He was like, get your money up, come into this business, come into this whole area. So that's something I definitely have always wanted to do. I like finished products, and I look at construction like artwork. And that's probably what some of my bosses are like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, it looks great, and it lasts forever. So yeah, right. I don't know. It's just I like building. I like building with my hands and like creating things. Like that's the name of the game for me. Like if I can make this give me more time to do all of that, I'm solid.
Yeah. And that's the kind of thing you need to make it through anything. It's like whatever I'm doing, I'm just going to be that guy at. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm doing this construction. Like, I want it to look good. You can cut corners, you can half-ass it, and it look all right, and it'd be passable. But you're like, no, I want this to look good because I did it. And it doesn't have to be for anybody else's satisfaction but your own. And I feel like that is an attitude that translates really well for content creators. If you're doing something and you're like, I don't care if it's not the best by anybody's standard, but it's the best I'm doing and I put my heart into it, that's good content. And you can sense that in people when they're talking and what they're creating. It's like, even if they're not like having it all together or they're not an expert at it, it's like, that motherfucker is good at this, and they're going to keep growing at it and honing that skill until they're on top and everybody else sees it too.
Exactly. And that's the thing is, like, you build a character for you, like not a character, but like you build a character within yourself by showing up and like doing that. That people gravitate to that. They gravitate to the authentic personality. And I know Julie, she had a space, or she's having a space where she's going to be talking about the authenticity in content creation. People want that. If you look like your favorite creators, you're just a reflection of them, which you're going to do some good, but like you're not going to bring yourself to it. And that's what really matters. That's the, like, I don't know, that's the thing. And when I see new people come into the space, I've been just a little, I mean, I've only been here like 3 years, so I'm not experienced. Like, we're still pretty new. There's still a long road for us to go, but I have some experience, and I have some places where I failed at, where maybe not failed, but I tried to work for other people where I wasn't really included. I tried to represent things that maybe I wasn't. It goes back to you're putting, you're watering the wrong plants, you're watering the wrong grass kind of thing. And I try to tell people, make a name for yourself. First and foremost, represent yourself, like bring that to the table, let them add to that. You know what I mean? If you just bring yourself to their table and you try to add to their table, as soon as they're done with you, or they don't want you, or their project fails, which likely is going to happen, you're back to just this guy that represented this failed company. And like, you're going to feel pretty shitty about yourself. He's like, all this work for nothing. They didn't, you know what I mean? And I try to tell people, I'm like, brother, sister, cousin, look, you got to represent what you like the most because of these reasons. And so many people have come back like, thank you so much, that project brought, or hey, yeah, that guy's a dick. And it's like, I'm not going to say it, but if you can stand on yourself, and that's all that really matters. Like, all of this other stuff is byproduct, but that's the one thing I've seen with Gotcha Media is we have a diverse group of people in there. And it's like, I honestly didn't I was telling David, I was like, I really didn't know what I was doing here at first, like just making content. And he was like, that's exactly what we're supposed to do, like just showing up every single day. But seeing all of these other people, seeing these new faces, seeing these new creators, and seeing these other blockchains for me, because I didn't know as much on the east side of things. So where I'm going with this is like all of these different areas, like just have taught me so much. But again, I want to go back to that tweet. You're saying that you're starting to see things kind of go through the ETH route.
Yes, I am. What? So here's the thing, right? So like, and this is, again, I just kind of like am a broader thinking person. FTX is like selling off its like, Solana or whatever, right? It's like at like 60%, something like that. So there was like 2.6 billion to sell off, and that was a sell off earlier in the year. And that's when, Solana was ripping, and then it took another dip down. There's still another 0.6 billion to liquidate. Between that liquidation and VCs on, in liquidation mode themselves, I still see, Solana take, and this is for me, so I can accumulate more. I see it taking another dip because you really can't avoid it with that. And everybody gravitated towards Solana tokens because of the fees associated with Ethereum tokens when Ethereum meme tokens were taking off. Well, those fees have reduced significantly. I was checking way yesterday. It's four. I was like, it's in the single digits.
Yeah, when I went, all right, so remember when everybody was going buck ass crazy on runes, they're trying to like, all right, so I went over to Ethereum when nobody was talking about that. I went over to look at base and everything over there. I was like, let me do some research over here because everybody's zigging, I'm gonna zag, like let's do this. And I noticed that. I was like, holy shit, that was fast, way faster than it's ever been. I'm gonna say that, I have to be honest with this, and it wasn't costly. It wasn't like it killed the bank. Like, I don't have a problem with, I know what I'm putting this into, if my conviction is right, that this is mindless money right here. This is just the convenience fee. I understand that. I will argue the fact, the fees, but when it comes down to, I've also had trades on Solana where I couldn't get the fucking transaction to go through, and I lost all the gains. And me and Dave were talking about it, like, you can pay the fee and then it just goes through. You're like, yeah, you might have to pay a little bit, but you run out of that problem. But no, I definitely kind of see the same thing. I see the charts and it doesn't look like as bullish as it was. The sentiment overall I see is a little different. I mean, the NFT side of things is just complete horseshit. And I think the meme coin world was what did that. And I think that there is most chains, regardless of where you come from, have came over to Solana. So the influx is because of the ease of use, because of the fast transaction speed, because of every headline for like 2 months seemed like it was Solana this, Solana that, Solana meme coin. There's still more to go. It still will increase. You know what I mean? And like you said, this will create an opportunity. And I agree with you. Like, everybody forgets, like, the halving happened. We typically have a 6 months kind of a little bit of choppy low time, and we get there. That would provide a great opportunity to lay up for Solana to be like, all right, let's just pull back a little bit and get that sell off. You know what I mean? From $8 to now, that's a great time to kind of establish that. And you're going to see other people just taking chunks at it. So it'll have that volatility and chop. But I agree with you, and I see that. That's why I was like, all right, let's bring her up, because I definitely, me being the Solana guy, like, I mean, people, I love all chains. Solana works for me, and that's where it came from. And I have to like remind people that. But I shop around everywhere. And David was surprised. He was like, you got like probably what, like 200 some freaking meme coins? I was like, nah, I got like 3 maybe on Solana, and I got some Dogecoin, I got some Ethereum and stuff like that. He was like, so you're not one of these crazy psycho degen investors? I was like, no, I have fun here. Like, I have wallets where we just fuck around, do stupid shit all day. But like, sometimes that's a nice come up. But yeah, I got like serious investments where it's like, I just don't touch these. They do what they do. I add to them when I add to them. Like, I'm looking down the road when, you know, I can cash out and this is my beach house or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
So
let that money mature, stake that Solana, let it sit. I mean, there's going to be volatility in the market because there is so much going on. And of course, everything has its season. So everybody wants Solana meme coins, right? And then ordinals, that's popped off, and I love my ordinals. I have my ordinals bag, and everybody's like, runes. And everybody was like, shit, we're so early to runes, we're all going to make bank. And then they realized it takes way more effort to trade runes than it does Solana tokens. And most of these motherfuckers are not prepared for the commitment it takes to trade runes.
They couldn't, like, most people couldn't make it through that night. Like, I'm sitting there watching the group chats, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, they ran up. You guys made some bank, but like, you're also sitting here waiting for 69 more pending transactions. Like, some are buys, some are, you know what I mean? Some are people selling for a loss. Like, but now we're at, like, it receded so much. That's where I was like, this would be my entry. This is exactly what I would plan for. Like, it's, buy the rumor, sell the news situation. I had people shilling this at 0.6 to 0.8 for the runestone thing. And then they're selling them. And then I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you literally were just telling me to buy here. Like, I would have been your exit liquidity 100%. And they're like, nah, I mean, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'll wait till it recedes a little bit. And it might not even be my thing. I don't know if that's just another thing. Like, you don't always have to chase what everybody else is chasing. Like, when people are chasing something, I'm like, all right, that means there's probably going to be a sale over here in this area. I can grab more of this bag, whatever. But
yeah, I did numerous spaces with. I'm sorry, I did numerous spaces with trying to understand runes, and I found at the end of those spaces, I'm like, first of all, I still don't fully understand it. This may not be for me. And that's not to FUD runes. That is not to say that it's not invaluable. It's not a good investment. This doesn't work for me. And this doesn't work for my investment tactics and my investment goals. I don't think that works for me. And I'm glad that I kind of just stayed out of it when I was like, I don't fully understand. I'm not going to ape into something that I don't get and run the risk of losing money that I'm sitting here plotting and planning when I could have just let it mature while it was, stake Solana or Ethereum, or even just leaving my Bitcoin bag alone. So I think it's important for people to stop just bag hopping and just stop every, thing that's shiny on the timeline saying, oh my gosh, I just heard about it, so I got to be early. Know whether that is something that actually makes sense for your investment goals. And if you have the liquidity around to be spreading it like that, otherwise you're going to get wrecked and you're going to be one of those dudes on the timeline that's flooding the shit out of everything. Because he's broke now, going into stuff he doesn't understand.
Yeah, it's such a good point. I wish I had the button to go beep, 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 beep. But no, I'm with you 100% on that because it just I don't jump around with all my bags. I let them just kind of sit there. And I also do so much outside of this. Like when we get done this, like there's a certain point in my day, I shut this down and I go outside. I'll mess around on my phone while I'm doing stuff, but you know, there's other things going on in the world, and that allows you to step away. It allows you to not be distracted. It allows you not to have people kind of influence your decisions, because regardless what anybody says, there is a mental game that you're playing when you're behind the screen or you're scrolling, looking at all of these things come through. You're seeing the same words. It's working on your brain space to make you think and do certain things. If you don't look at it, you come back. Like most of my best plays in my bags were from forgetting, like set it, forget it kind of thing, and walking away. I swear to God, my meme coins of 100% best returns were like, I forgot about that fucking thing. Let me go ahead and take this profit right now. You know what I mean? And
I completely forgot I had a bag of Doge. Completely forgot about that shit.
See?
I looked at a wallet. I was like, hello, Merry Christmas. What is
this? That's so good. Like that's the best feeling when you open your wallet. You're like, oh, Christmas. What's today? Am I breathing right now? Yeah. I've had that happen a couple times. This bull run, I was like, I planned that. That was me. No, I'm definitely with you on that. I think sticking to your bag, sticking to your conviction. And this is the worst part is I've lived through this. So I tell people there's times where you're going to sell a bag and then you're going to look at that shit 3 months down the road and you're going to do that math like an idiot. And you're going to say, that would have been $45,000 right there. And you took what, $450 profit, you know? And it's like, you got to think about this a little bit more. Take your profits, let that moon bag, let that dust run, let it just put it in the corner somewhere and just keep moving. And you're not going to be trying to dollar cost average it. You're not going to be chasing. You don't have to check every space. Like if you zoom out and look at any chart, if you just take a week view, it looks a lot better than it does day to day. Maybe some days it doesn't look that way, but overall, if your conviction was there, it's probably going to be there later. Almost every single coin that I've covered from February that had February 1st, they had their initial run up. If you held on to that and you round tripped it, you still would have made profit on the next run. Like it's just a patience game. And this goes down to something I try to explain to people. It's not always about finding your entry, it's finding your exit. What that means is how much money are you willing to put on the line for how much time? Mm-hmm. If you're only got $100 that can sit for 3 months, that's all you can invest. You cannot be putting $1,000 into that, because if it goes down 60%, because that's crypto, and you put all of your whole load in right there, like you're gonna sell for a loss there, and then you're gonna be mad when it runs up here, and you're like, man, I just broke even basically, but I had the 15K invested over this whole entire time. You know what I mean? People don't look at it; they just push and click, and it's like
I can't think of how many times I've seen somebody say in the chat like I gotta make 5, 10 sold today or whatever, and end up getting wrecked, absolutely fucking wrecked, and lose whatever they have that they put into play with it because they want to play the numbers game. And that's not to say that there's plenty of people who have like made huge bags, but the time commitment and honestly the network you have to be able to get in those kinds of entries is unreal and impractical for most people. It just isn't practical for real life and trading together.
And it's crazy when I see those same people, they come back about, all right, so they did all of that, and about 6 hours later, like, man, if I would have just held on to this, it'd be this. I would have hit my goal. I'm like, it's more stories of that than you see of people saying, I hit this moon bag, but there's more people sharing that moon bag story than they are of this person that was patient. You know what I mean? So it's the allure. Like I said, it fucks with your head. You think that you have to be in here. You have to watch every single play. You have to watch every single chart. Like I know let me just take a peek. I haven't looked at this since we got on here. I have no idea where these plays are at, but these are all profitable plays that I took my initials. I took the profit out. Now it's just whatever it does at this point. I don't have to watch it. And I mean, if there's like a significantly bad day or something like that, I got to look at, is this coin even worth being in? But it's just, I don't know. That's how Solana coins go. They're here and then they're gone the next fucking day. So I
mean, Solana is, and that's kind of like, hold on, I'm plugging in right here. If my phone dies on me, I'm gonna switch screens because I got my other screen right here ready to go. But I think that's another reason why it's going to be a nice transition time to be able to look into even Ethereum meme coins, because there are some really great Ethereum meme legacy coins that you see have been building, and there were some that were released like during the Sol wave. They're still consistent, and you still see, and the price action is chilled out because everybody has gone, over to Solana or like looking at runes. But you see ones that are still building, and I really like the idea of teams that aren't going anywhere. And you're like, okay, I know that they're leaving this liquidity here. They're not looking for a quick exit. These are ones that want the staying power. So why wouldn't I make sure I have a bag in that? Because eventually they're going to pop off. Then just try to play a numbers game by trying to heat these really, really quick licks over 100%. Here and risking the money just going to shit. So I think we're going to see a resurgence of that. And, you know, the OG meme coins.
What are a couple coins that you have on your top, like if you had a top 5 or something like that, for people to take a look at? Not for advice, do your own research, get you know, all of that. This is just stuff we're looking at hypothetically.
DYOR. So the one that obviously I've always been into and I love for the team, for their longevity, and they keep building, is obviously going to be Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Eno, and that's ticker.
Dude, I saw your video today. I was dying. I was like,
they do not quit. You cannot get rid of Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Eno. They wrote the rules for what meme coin is. They're the first ones to be like, you know, we're gonna go completely batshit schizo on the timeline, and everybody looked at them, they're nuts. A year later, meme coins are all anybody talks about.
When I saw them, I was like, what in the actual fuck is going on in crypto? We are going to zero. This cannot be. Like, I was so like, I've never seen anything like this. And I was like, it hit me. I was like, yeah, you've never seen anything like this. What did you just say? I was like, fuck, I missed it. Like, by the time I realized what was going on, and it's everywhere now, it's like, that's a meta, that's a trend, that's it's a cultural thing, like, that's there. Like, even you see it in Web 2 enough, like, where I'm like, this is insane, and people don't even know what it is. They're like, oh, this thing's hilarious. I'm like, I'm not getting into this conversation with you, but I'm glad it's there. So, all right, we got Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic Union.
I mean, you have Amasapi Seal. So obviously Pixel is one that's going to be the native token using to their game and everything. That is one that, again, one of my conviction plays. I'm like, I'm cool letting my bag chill in there. And some Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic Inu, and Sproto community spinoff tokens are ones I really believe in. These are people that have been in, like, ticker Bitcoin since it was a fraction of a penny. They made their bag and they are chilling. They're like, great, okay, let's build another token. Let's kind of branch off of this and be able to kind of create another sub community. Right. So there are communities like that. There's like the Goated token. There's Hoba, which is honey badgers, which I love.
I saw that one. I'm glad you said that.
Honey bastards.
Dude, that's so funny. I love the that's a good one. The honey badgers, that brings back some memories from high school, because I love those videos. Honey badgers don't take them shit.
I think we're going to see some really interesting things from them. They're actually going to be in Lisbon. I think they're coming through to Consensus, and that's a community of artists. So you're seeing people who made content for ticker Bitcoin. You're seeing the same people who had those imaginations to create all these crazy memes and content saying, all right, we're going to create another sub community, and this one is going to do this, and it's this goofy ass little honey badger, and you can't kill a friggin' honey badger. And for a team to be like, can't kill a honey badger, you can't kill us. I'm like, you can't kill. I like that. I like when the team is like, you can't kill us.
Yeah, you can't kill.
Because that means they don't want to go anywhere. I want my money where it's not going to go anywhere.
Exactly. People are going to fight for your money. They're going to fight for what they're doing and having fun. Like, they're fighting for fun at this point. It's like, you're not going to stop us. We're here. We're vibing. No, that's awesome. So anything else? Anything else you want to shout out real quick?
What else? Hoppy is another one that I've seen all over. They're actually a Matt Fury art-based project. And I know even David's mentioned a lot of like kind of like meme history and going back into lore and 4chan, Reddit, all that stuff. I didn't realize that they were so tied to that entire thing. I didn't realize they were I thought they were just like a derivative knockoff. But they're not. They're the actual like official ERC20 token of Hoppy, which is basically the sanitized version of what Pepe was when Pepe kind of got put into a bunch of, racist, anti-Semitic memes or whatever and got flagged as being like this defamatory thing. Matt Fury decided to take ownership of his art and be like, I'm going to recreate this and make it something that's more friendly and something that's just about good. And that was Hoppy. I like the cute shit. Okay.
Everybody does. It's an easier introduction. When you have some aggressive stuff and it's not as cute, like, it's people are like, oh, that's nice, and they do that. When you show them the cute stuff, they're like, oh, what is that? I want to see that. Is there anything else? You're spot on with that, and that's why, like, honestly, my PFP, I put the fucking the unicorn and the slurp thing in there. I was like, this is funny. People, I don't like it. It's whatever. It's not as aggressive as some of the stuff I like, but yeah, cute is nice. People are more open and friendly to that. So
I need more friendly shit on the timeline. Everything's kind of crazy. I need cute friendly for a minute.
Yeah. So, all right, those are some great tickers. I got them written down. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. Definitely want to dig into, see what kind of happens. Because I agree with you. I do see that there's an opportunity. You haven't seen this enormous resurgence in Ethereum. So it's due, I think. I think that's spot on. I was going to ask you something else, but lost my train of thought. And I fucking forget now.
It's probably real important.
Yeah, it probably was. Oh, well. Well, it'll come back to me another time.
Probably in the middle of the night when you're half asleep.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Anyway, go live right now. Connect. Anyway, what kind of, do you have any of your own regular spaces? Do you have anything where people can tune in and kind of catch up with you? Kind of just let us know where to find you and what you've been growing or building.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to be going live every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern with Run It Back with Daila. And that's going to kind of be a recap of all the crazy stuff that happened in the week, whether it was Web 2, Web 3. And my format is more, it's a conversation with the audience. I want to see in the comments what people are talking about. And I've told people, I'm like, you know, if you want to talk to me about token, let's talk about it live. And sometimes you can't accommodate just a one-on-one with a bunch of people, or sometimes it's, you know, more Telegram heavy interactions and just more, you know, shit posting in it. Cool. Let me entertain it. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you got going on. And that way I can give an unbiased reaction and be like, if we just ran into each other in the street. Yeah, like we ran into each other in the street or at an IRL and be like, hey, you know, I heard about this. What do you think about that? Or
I got you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's kind of up and up.
Yeah, for sure. I like that style a lot. Definitely going to tune in and check that out and get in the comments there. I've tried to do that with this, where I invite guests to come on, kind of keep it like a space. It hasn't caught on all the way yet, but I'm still working on that. But this is going to be like the Fridays is going to be like the guest kind of thing that people on here like this. I really like breaking it down and getting to know people and kind of digging into it, because you get to see the personality a little bit more and see, like, you know, what do you really like? Like, what do you really want to do here? So that's where I'm going with this. What do you want to do in this space? Like, what is the end goal, or at least what is the next goal? Like the big one.
Yeah, and this is the first like real conversation we had. Audience, this is the first real conversation we've actually had. So this is meeting. So I think it's an awesome way. Like, we're on the same team. G Media has been great. I mean, shout out to David and Leslie, who honestly, I don't think I would have the courage to even try this without the encouragement of both. And I cannot overstate that enough. And them really empowering people and be like, you can create, get out there and do it. Just push and make it happen. And David's given me a lot of tips. Leslie has been great with encouragement and like whatever you need, and being that trickle down effect in the team. Like, you can't get any better than that when it's just people who do it for the love of the game. And so I'm glad that we're on the same team and we can do that and we can make more fuck shit content together.
Yeah, for sure. I stayed to myself for a little bit, because I said, like, I didn't really know what I was supposed to be doing here. And then, like, I knew that we had a team that was, you know, supportive, but I didn't really put as much effort as I wanted to. I just wasn't ready. And then I saw a couple things happen. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to put myself out there and be part of this. And we've heard shit's dead. So we'll probably see a new screen pop up. But I was with the team, and I just wasn't sure where I was at with it, and then I just saw everybody kind of make a move, and we're back. And we're gone. Let's see. Oh shit, SK, brother, I didn't even see your shit down here. SK, you there? I didn't even see his name pop up.
Yo,
bro. Yeah,
bro, I've been in here for an hour, gang.
Motherfucker. Well, shit. Well, at least that's good time, because Dalia just.
Holy shit! I was like, when is this you're gonna bring me on, bro?
Where's your face at, dog?
Hold on, give me a sec. I'm on the phone, so give me a sec.
I got you. I apologize. I didn't even see it pop up down there. Oh, there she is. And we're back.
Give me a sec.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh no, my audio. Give me just a second.
Take your time.
Give me just 1 second. I can't hear.
You're good.
What the fuck going on, bro?
You good?
Hell nah, this shit's just not working anymore. She was working fine before. Now it's just tweaking. Hold it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna switch this up here.
Let me refresh. Hold it.
All right, my bad. I'm back.
All right.
I told you it would die. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Loud and clear.
All right, cool.
I sent the invite for SK. I wanted him to be part of the conversation, but I didn't see his request until just now, which it's okay because we can segue into that. I'm not sure if I'm going on to David's space after this. I got to check my messages or if he has somebody else. But you did say a couple things I wanted to touch on. Consensus, IRL events, meeting people. And like she said, guys, this is the first time that we've had our back and forth in a conversation. So you guys got to see it live. And it's been fun, man. I've really, really enjoyed getting to know you and kind of hearing your side and where you're growing. And one thing, man, like, it's not the easiest place for women to, take off and launch their careers or launch, what they want to do and be passionate about it because, I mean, it's a male-driven area. But I see powerful women like you stepping up and just kind of saying, fuck that, we're here, we can be pretty and we can be smart and we can be taken serious as well. So congratulations on not giving a fuck because it's very, very evident. And I think that you inspire other people with what you do, and I think there needs to be more of that. I grew up with all sisters, so I have a soft spot for it. I don't care. It's not anything other than that. So keep it up. I really
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm just out here doing me. We'll figure it out.
That's what it takes. But yeah, as far as IRL events and going to them, do you do those often? Or are you going to be doing them more? How's that kind of playing out for you?
IRL events, I love to go to them as often as possible. I feel like they're really important to be able to connect with just really who is in the space creating content, because you will see a lot of different people and you'll get it feels like the timeline come to life. You'll see all types of personalities, all kinds of things, and it gives you a different perspective in working with people. I know that I have found it a lot easier to collaborate with people after I met them in person. There are people who I've talked to in spaces who I absolutely did not like, and I met them in person and then they'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, oh, you're so-and-so. I don't like you. Why you act like that in spaces? And then they'll be, and then I'm like, oh no, like that's just kind of my thing. And I'm like, well, I didn't know that when you were like that and you were kind of trolling me and I kind of took it disrespectfully. And now I don't like you. And now those are people I love in the space, but because we had that opportunity to have that exchange.
Yeah.
And I keep that same energy. I am who I'm going to be on camera. I'm who I'm going to be when we meet. Because I can't do it any other way. And some people are very much about, no, I curate this kind of like intensity in my content for this reason. And I respect that. To me, that's a part of the creative process.
Right.
But you get to really know that in people when you meet them in real life. So I did NFT NYC. I was in Denver. I'll be at Consensus. I'm pretty sure I'll be at Consensus. And I will also be at Rare Evo in August. And that is in Las Vegas, which is a cross-chain event. This is the third year.
What's that one in Vegas? You said Rare Evo?
Yeah, Rare Evo. That is that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be at Caesars in Vegas.
I've never been to Vegas.
And shout out to Rare Evo because they are ones that you will see everywhere. They have been grinding to really create a conference that was all in one. Like the party and the conference and everything is in one spot. So if you want to come through, you don't have to like travel all over the place because there's people have satellite events. That's fine. But this shit gets expensive. Like if you want to go to in real life events, they're expensive. Yeah. So to be able to have something that's kind of like, yeah, you know what, you're here for the conference and later that night we're going to have a party in this side of the building. I'm with that. So that is going to be in August, and hoping to do Art Basel this year because I am a huge fan of art. So to be able to see traditional Web 2 art and have the Web 3 experience mixed in and hang out with my Web 3 homies, that's like the dream. So yeah, I think that's my calendar.
Nice. So I wanted to do the Consensus this month, right? I think that's where we at here? SK. Hold on, let me send a request real quick. SK is in the building. All right, there you are.
Holy shit! I did not think I was.
SK.
I did not think I was gonna, bro. I was scared. I didn't think I was gonna make it again. I thought it was gonna be game over again, bro.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I did not see the notification pop up.
I had a message on Twitter. I was about to call the FBI to get in contact with you, gang.
All love, brother. So, a couple of the events, I wanted to try to get to the consensus one. I have something going on with like the Philadelphia Phillies. We're going to the Slurf, or we're going to take the Slurf to the Phillies and try to do an event there and get some photos with the Fanatic and do some kind of IRL things just to bring the community aspect out there so people can also see like, hey, these guys do go out from behind their computers. They go out to real events. And I want to show other people in this space, like, yo, grab the people in your area and pull them outside, like go touch grass, go watch the ball game. And the other thing is, it creates opportunity to speak with other people about crypto and about what we do here. On top of that, somebody might ask like, hey, what's that shirt? It's Fanatic. And I can tell them about the art side of things. And it really brings it all together. And I'm just trying to kind of pick at it a little bit here and there because I can, at the tattoo shop we'll be working at, I'm going to be having private parties like monthly, maybe something like that, but where it'll be introduction to finance, crypto, what we do here, and just sharing all of the great stuff in this space and having live streams and stuff like that as well with an audience in real life where they might, some of the people in Philadelphia know how to, like I said, know how to get money. They don't know what to do with it when they get there. So I want to be able to be like, look, these are some options, these are the kind of things, and explain it, have one-on-one. So I really want to bring IRL together as best I can. And Philadelphia is going to be a great place because of, the amount of people, and it is kind of like a major city. So.
Yeah, I mean, mad respect for doing it in Philly. I am a Philly fan, a Philly sports fan till I die. Go Birds, go Phils. So I am very excited. So if you're telling me that you're going to have the Fanatic and Slurf like together, that's gonna be.
Is there a great
good aesthetic? I like that. I like those two things together. But I do think it's you know what, like you don't get a more degenerate city than Philly, and I say that with every like loving beat of my heart because obviously the degenerate spirit runs through there. So I think it's a great place to be able to showcase that that balance of Web 2 and Web 3, do things that are outside of the box and do things that kind of mash the things up together and create community and foster conversations from there. I don't think that there's any better way of showcasing Web 3 than to make it something that is not so siloed and just on the timeline. So much respect for doing that. I love it.
Yeah, it's something that I think is going to bring me outside of the box a little bit. It's something I've always thought of, like I want to speak in front of people. I don't know what it is about it, but I've always been like in sports. I've always been kind of in that position, kind of like SK out here with the what are you doing? The chip and putt, SK? What are we
playing some golf, broski. I thought it's the right weather. I thought the right angle. Let's get the old sandwich shot out. Right, let's get this one up, going.
Golf, right? Don't you? You play golf, right?
Decent chip.
Well, he's lucky we don't have any neighbours at the back. I'll be cracking windows, bro.
Yeah, I am terrible at golf. I could catch you on the putt, but maybe
I'm terrible at golf too. So
I thought you played. Are you just?
I do. I'm shit at it.
Oh. Okay. What am I missing? You just enjoy playing golf. I got you.
No, I play. I'm just really shitty at it. But that's okay because I'd be cute out there with it. You know what I mean? Like I got my outfit, everything's coordinated, and I'll play with shit anyway. So at least nobody's paying attention to my awful swing. So that's
awesome. I got kicked off the golf club when I was in high school. I tried out from there. Like, you are terrible. I was like, oh, noted. I will see you guys later. I'm going to play basketball. But no, man, I'm looking forward to getting to some of these events of consensus. I'm not going to be able to make that. The Vegas one, I've never been to Vegas, so that's something that really sounds fun. It has, like you said, everything in one place. That's interesting. But the Art Basel I've known about Art Basel from like just the art side of things before crypto. So when I realized like there's a tandem right there, I was like, I need to get there. I missed it last year, but I 100% like that's kind of like my Christmas gift to myself is to make sure I can get out there to Art Basel and check that out. I know some other artists from the area where they have murals, they have live demonstrations and all that kind of, or live paintings and stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Have you been to Art Basel before, or will this be your first?
I have. So I didn't get to go last year.
Okay.
My daughter actually had a cheer competition, and I was like, man, it was. And if it would any other competition, have been all right, but it was her first one of the year. So I'm like, all right, well, I probably can't
What
afford
is the
therapy
kids ruining
for me
event,
to
right?
be like, I'm not going to your cheer competition because I'm going to Art Basel. So I made the executive decision to skip that, but I did go the year before, and it was probably that's what really solidified like my love of Web3.
Okay.
It was probably the best combination of things that I love about the space and about art and music and culture all wrapped up into one. I'm like, this is what I'm here for. So if anybody can go to any Web3 event, I would say like Art Basel is probably one of my favorites, just because it is so much. You feel like, okay, Web3 is a part of the real world too. Like, we aren't just like this,
Okay.
group of weirdos. Like, there's galleries and there's installations and then there's get-togethers and things like that. And there's something about that is just like, that just drives me and is my inspiration and carries me through. So I was heartbroken that I missed it, but now we're halfway to the next one. So I'm just looking forward to that. I highly recommend it. I'm in Central Florida, so it's like, just a train ride down.
Nice. Yeah, I love Florida.
I live in a golf community in Central Florida as it is, which is hilarious because I am so shitty at golf. So maybe I'll get my life together in both of those respects this year.
Nice.
I mean, maybe anything's possible.
I definitely like the. I think that there's a special part where you get the real people or the IRL events. You get the art in real life, and I think I've seen more of the NFT side of things kind of poured into that cultural whole, like, I don't know, that whole thing. It appeals to me more than any other event. I didn't do the NFT NYC. I debated it. I don't know. I just decided not to. I was like, I want to go to something else. I want to go something further away. And New York's like 3 hours away from me. Maybe less. Maybe 2 hours away from me or something like that, up 95. So I don't know. Art Basel's, it's very hard. But yeah, well, if I
pick up the train to Hamilton Station.
Well, yeah, there you go. I could have done that, but yeah, I don't know. New York is expensive, and I don't know. I just want to go to the Art Basel one. If I'm going to go to one, I think that would probably be that. But the Vegas has me kind of intrigued on that one. So we'll see.
I went last year for the Azuki event, Follow the Rabbit event that they had, and there was a Bing Bong event there as well. And it is such a vibe. I mean, the weather was perfect. The people were excited. It's a bunch of people who hadn't, been outside in months, all of a sudden hanging out and in the sunshine, and they're reactivated. So, nice. I feel like this year, Rare Evo is probably going to be, if not the event of the year, one of definitely the top three. They've got a lot of great, interesting guests coming. Last year was the first time they had like a larger ETH project though, and that was Sappy Seals, and that was something I wanted to facilitate because I'm like, I would love to be able to kind of get them in this all-in-one convention kind of situation. And so they did so well with it last year. They're like, let's step it up. So they're gonna have like their kickoff event is like there's like this pool and giant buffet thing, and I'm like, say less, a buffet, bitch. Yes, I'm stuffing my bag and taking that shit back to my room. That's breakfast. Are you kidding me?
Just walking with the cooler behind you, just pulling it, like, cooler with you, like, don't worry about this.
I'm here for mine.
There's nothing to see here. Nah, that's great.
All right, my purse is coming back with shrimp. I don't care.
Yo, so SK, have you been to any IRL events? You've been to any crypto stuff out there across the pond?
Nah, bro. All the projects that I've ever worked for inside of Web3 have been whack, bro. And they've never, other than Slurp, obviously, but they've always been whack and never saw the vision enough to send SK to the US, bro. Look, Sean, I tried to start a petition for a while, 2 years ago, SK to US. It was a GoFundMe. We managed to raise around 70 cents. Unfortunately, people just weren't feeling it. What people seem to forget is once SK reaches the US, we reach a new level of takeover that has never been seen before in this space. So unfortunately not yet. I haven't been to any events in the US yet, none in the UK either. I did plan to go to an Atlas event between the Chimpers and Zeneca. They had like a meetup somewhere in the UK last year.
Right.
didn't manage to get to it, unfortunately, just because the time that it would have taken me to get from Birmingham to London, and then the time the event started, I would have had to stay overnight. I hadn't had any of that sorted. It just ended up being too much hassle. So unfortunately, no, bro, I haven't been to any events NFT wise or crypto wise. But
it's crazy how much time we all spent here, and like there's some events, but there's so much connection, and like again, this is a global thing. You're obviously across the pond right here, and this is something that if you stuck to the norm, you stuck to what used to be, like people just stick to that grid, their circle where they can go drive to and reach. Like this is one of the things that I love the most, is that we're all in different areas. We're able to connect and literally work on the exact same projects, the same ideas or different ideas, whatever the case is. But it's like there's never been like a pool of like this before, where in Web3 at least you've seen this. I know the .com kind of bounced out there, but you had message boards, you had to be in chat rooms, you know what I mean? It's a little different. You didn't have these personal like interactions, like watching you do the tips right there, watching Dalia up here, you know, kind of explain and talk about her, you know, her background. It's just, this is something that launches people to a new level, and the more and more we do these, the more events that are out there, the more that we grow and make them available. Because like you're saying, I haven't been to an event before. Now I want to create an opportunity in Philadelphia because I don't know that there's a lot. And if I can foster that, maybe it's 10 people, maybe the next time it's 15. But if I keep doing that, it gives people that typically can't get to these bigger things and have a little bit more of a private thing. But that's what I want to start to do and what I want to bring there. On top of that, I can stream the entire event. So it's not like it's going to take time away from what we've been doing and growing, building here. It's going to give me a chance to like showcase, hey, going out, you guys can watch this. Maybe this kind of influences or inspires you to kind of create something in your area, because there aren't as many opportunities. If we create more of them, people talk, you see it. But that's something that I'm going to be trying to do, very, very hell-bent on that. You know, an SMS event would be absolutely insane. So we'll get there. But
I think what I'm most excited for, brother, is just meeting the people I've spent so much time and energy with online over the past couple of years or months, and being able to really put some of these goofy-looking PFPs to actual people's faces, and also be able to bully a lot of the same people I bully online in person. That's what I'm looking forward to.
You want to bully them in person?
Yeah, bro. Like you know how you got some little bros in the community. Sometimes you just got to headlock and give them a nugget IRL as well.
Definitely looking forward to it, man. I've never been across the you know, outside of the US, to be honest with you. So something I've always dreamt about is traveling to the US or the UK, doing the tattoo stuff. I talked with my buddy Steve, and I was like, what do you think about us eventually, you know, down the line, going out and doing a trip out there for, you know, a tattoo thing or a convention? He was like, absolutely, brother. So if you don't make it out here before I make it out there, we gotta stay in touch, man. I'll give you a slurp.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God, I'm being attacked in the garden. My apologies. Yeah, I tried to play it cool. Just that that didn't happen. If you can edit that bit up, just chop it up, sure. Do some snips. Appreciate it, bro.
I got you. No, I definitely. My goal is to literally get out there. Like, this is one thing about this, man. With the art side of NFT stuff and like getting into this world, I want to meet people in here and give them something that they can keep. You know what I mean? I want to get my reps in. I want it to be, you know, good quality, obviously, but I want to travel. I've wanted a life where art can go all over the place. Like with graffiti, you put your art on the wall, you hope that it lasts as long as you can. With tattooing, you're giving somebody a piece of art that they can have. With NFTs, you get something that if it's in Bitcoin, you can keep forever. Anything else, hopefully they pay the rent, and you know, that's that. But all of it kind of like has the same thing.
To be in this space and connect with all these people, if you can't actually convert it into real life relationship and friendship, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's huge, and I've seen it already. I've seen people that are founders of projects that met and stuff like this, where you know, they're in different corners of the world and they came together and worked, built this thing, and eventually finally meet. Like those are special situations that like are cultivated through this space, through these communities, through amazing people like you guys that stick it out and see something in yourself. You guys, we all know right here, like all three of us know that you have to be your biggest fan in the first thing in the morning and at the end of the day, because it's hell. Like it's hard sometimes, and it's again getting yourself uncomfortable. But I definitely want to keep this going. But we are at 11:30, a little bit past what I was typically going at. I'm not going to keep you guys all day, but I appreciate you so much for coming on and hearing about your Dalia. I think you got a tremendous opportunity with what you've been doing. Like, what was the numbers that you had on your first?
Me?
No.
Damn, I'm muted, right?
Yeah, you were.
I think I tapped out. It was like 12.4 is the last time I checked it. 12.4K views. So, which is completely overwhelming. Like I was like, you know what, Dalia, if you hit 100, that's amazing. Like in my head, I was like, shit, I hope I hit 100. And so I was completely overwhelmed. Like, oh shit, like, you know, even if you tune in for a couple seconds, like just be like, oh, you know, like just check it out. That means a lot to me. It's just like, wow, okay, there's plenty of shit you could be doing, but you just sat here and watched me be a moron for an hour. I appreciate that.
That's awesome. I mean, it's definitely cool to see you grow, and I think like the sky's the limit, and then you can get even further than that. So I'll be tuning in, and again, just plug us in real quick. When can we catch you?
It is going to be Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Run It Back with Daila, powered by Gospel Media. So it's going to be pretty much the same kind of format. Come through in the comments, heckle me, tell me what's new, what's I'm investing in that's stupid, and yeah, we'll figure it all out from there.
Sweet, got you. You guys heard it. 3 p.m. Monday, Run It Back with Dalia.
SK Sales Secrets.
SK, go ahead, brother.
I cracked the ball over the back of the fucking garden, bro.
You're gonna hear whoop whoop whoop.
I don't know where it went. I'm sure I heard someone go. Oh.
Be all right.
I'll be all right. I'm gonna take the 7
at the club.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go take this inside. Sean, appreciate you bringing me on, broski. We'll be back.
Yeah, I apologize about that, but look, man, I'll be in the. Hit me up in about 15 minutes. I got something I got to handle real quick, but I want to talk with you about our schedule and stuff like that, and we'll get this going. We'll work on that a little bit more.
Appreciate you, broski. You're cooking.
No doubt, brother. I appreciate you, man. Take care of yourself and hide that golf club.
You're gonna have to cut that out from the.
Yeah, make sure the neighbors don't see me. I'm off, guys. Peace.
Oh man, I love the energy. But again, Dalia, I really appreciate you. And you're welcome.
Say Dalia one more time.
Dalia.
Daila.
Daila.
I told you we're gonna keep messing it up. Sorry.
All right.
Like
Daila.
I don't know.
I have my phonetic cards up here now. Daila. Better?
That's better.
But no, I really appreciate you coming on. It's great to hear and learn a little bit more about you. Like you said, this is the first time we actually got to connect, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next couple months and see how we turn out all the way through to Art Basel. That's my goal, is to get there and see all of you guys at the end of the year, bring this thing full circle would be great. SK, if you can figure out how to get that GoFundMe up and get your ass out here to Art Basel, it'd be great. It's about we'll bring the clubs and have a good time.
I'm bringing the clubs, baby. I'm bringing the clubs, the vibes, and the sluffs. Yeah.
We definitely need to talk about getting a golfing retreat out, because I'm complete ass at it, but I can drive a golf cart pretty good. I know that for a fact.
Okay. I'm gonna hold you to it, Sean. I'm gonna hold you to it.
Hey man, I'm here. I ain't going anywhere. But again, guys, this is SMS Live. This has been a great space. Fridays are going to be for the community. We're going to be highlighting people in the space, media personalities, protocols, anything in between, but just stuff that contributes to what we're doing. Not just Solana, not just Ethereum, not just Bitcoin, across the space. We want to keep talking about it. I think that's the best way for us all to grow. We got 185 people in here that might not have seen anybody in this space before. So make sure you're following somebody new on the timeline, guys. That's how you grow your network. Your net worth goes up from doing that. Last thing, G Media on top, guys. I appreciate all of your support. I'm going to shut this thing down. Get me something to eat, and I'll be in the DMs. I'll holler at you real quick, SK. Daila, appreciate you so much.
You got it.
Have a good one, guys.